Devin Haney is not satisfied with the no contest as the overruling for him and Ryan Garcia's fight. He doesn't want the loss to just be swept under the rug. He wants it as a win. He wants Ryan Garcia disqualified after obviously testing positive for PEDs. And I understand where Devin Haney's coming from. Obviously, you go into that sport of boxing, you're risking your life, and no matter what, no matter how much I like Ryan Garcia, rules are rules. I've been saying that I'd love to see him come out, clean out of this situation and find a way to really clear his name. But if it comes back, the sample B comes back on May 22nd and it is still positive, then, I think that the only right thing for the sport of boxing to do, for the New York Athletic Commission to do, is to have Ryan Garcia suspended. And I feel like even with the suspension, I've been talking about it on my channel for a lot, a 6-month suspension for Ryan Garcia really doesn't do anything at the end of the day. He'll probably have to pay a certain amount of, a fine fee of some sort. But at the end of the day, Ryan could still technically fight at the end of the year if it is 6 months. So does a suspension really do much for him? And a lot of people are talking about how Devin Haney, he's not looking good because he still took the loss no matter what. But at the end of the day, you guys got to remember, like, cheating is cheating. It's not okay. I'm not saying that Ryan Garcia definitely cheated, but a positive test is a positive test. So we have to wait what happens on May 22nd, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, I will say that, it's not the best look. If I was Devin Haney, I would say stuff like, I want my rematch. And if he tests positive again, then he should probably be banned from the sport at that point, right? If he tests positive in another fight. But I really do encourage Devin to really consider that rematch. I don't get why he wouldn't consider it, especially if he's really angry and wants justice to be served. Wouldn't you want to get in there and make that rematch clear? Really put on a statement for Devin Haney and show him that, Ryan Garcia can't mess with you if he's clean, and the fact that he's not clean, you're going to make him pay for it. I feel like Devin Haney should really take that step if he wants to prove to everybody that he's that guy, because otherwise, going to the New York Athletic Commission and telling them that this should be overturned into a disqualification or a no contest. The no contest is probably what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if Devin gets his way and gets a disqualification win. But is that really a win for him? I feel like a champion like Devin Haney doesn't really consider that as a win. So the fact that he's pushing so hard for his attorney to get this ruled as a disqualification, I get it. But you should also try to avenge it in a real fight, in my opinion. You can't just get it as a disqualification and then you can't expect boxing fans to think that you actually beat Ryan, because we all saw what happened. And I'm not saying that PEDs weren't a factor. They probably were a factor, and especially when it comes to strength. But still, we still have to see Devin get that lick back. We have to see him get his revenge, and if he doesn't do it in an actual fight, you're not going to get the respect of boxing fans. That's just the way it is. And I want to play both sides and not be biased here. So I do think that there should be repercussions for Ryan if the sample B does come back positive, or if he can prove somehow that he didn't take it intentionally and that somebody gave it to him. That's possible, but he's gonna have to prove that. And if he doesn't, then I'm okay with him, dealing with the repercussions. I can live with that, because I still know that, he's probably going to fight again at the end of the year or early in 2025. And then for Devin, I really do think that a rematch is set for you. It would be highly anticipated for you to fight him. The narrative for that fight, especially with Ryan Garcia testing PEDs, post this fight against Devin Haney, where he really did put on a very shocking performance. No one went into that fight thinking, oh, Ryan's definitely gonna knock out Devin. No one really thought that except for Ryan Garcia. But I hope he did it the right way, because it really was a very exciting fight. Everybody was watching that fight, and Devin Haney, despite the heart, he continued to get up like a warrior. And if PEDs were in Ryan Garcia's system to a degree where it does impact performance, then respect to Devin for continuing to get up time and time again when it looked like he was counted out, like he had no more left in him. He continued to, fight through it and get up every single time. His legs were gone. He got cracked with that left hook and it was over. In that first round, you already knew it was going to be a lot of trouble because of the way that Devin responded to that left hook. I already knew it was going to be a long night for him at that point because, you know, after that, you can only recover so much from taking a big shot, you know, one big shot, and then you take into account that maybe, you know, the impact of PEDs does enhance it. So you think about that too. Devin really can take a shot if that's the case. If Ryan Garcia, he did test positive, you guys can't just blow away the fact that he you know, tests positive. You can't just brush it off your shoulder, because then what's the purpose? Why do we have rules? You know what I mean? We can't, you know, I know you guys aren't liking this, but to hear this, but, you know, I'm going to keep it real for you guys, because then I wouldn't be being real, because, you know, as much as I've covered boxing for a minute now, and, you know, there are rules for a reason. You break the rules, then by what means are you really a champion? You know, as much as I was impressed by Ryan Garcia's performance, if it wasn't done on an even playing field, then, you know, how much credit can you really give him at the end of the day? Then you can, you know, take guys like Tank, take his win over Ryan Garcia. They're going to talk about the weight in that, but Ryan Garcia signed the contract, and he deserves credit for that, because, you know, without Ryan Garcia and Tank fighting, maybe the Earl Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford fight doesn't happen. You have this and that. I'm not saying Ryan Garcia hasn't done a lot of great for the sport of boxing. I think he has, but if he cheated in this one fight, that does taint his reputation. You know, that does impact his reputation, and as much as I like him, I still think he's going to make millions of dollars. I still think he's going to be a superstar in the sport. You know, we can't encourage that kind of stuff, though. If it's against the rules, then it's against the rules. I'm not saying Ryan Garcia is a bad person. I'm not saying that, but let's be real with the facts. The facts are that he gets tested. He tested positive the day before, and the day of, right after his fight with Devin Haney, tested positive for Austrian. So we have to wait for that May 22nd ruling to come back from, you know, VADA, see what the sample B says, and if it's positive, then we can't just ignore that, guys. We gotta, you know, accept the facts that a positive test is a positive test. And as much as I like Ryan, it is what it is. You know, we'll just have to continue to move on, see how Ryan Garcia responds from that. And, you know, people are going to continuously call him a cheater. It's just, my one gripe is that, you know, the whole Snack thing, the Victor Conti and Devin's relationship with Snack, how much is that impacting, you know, VADA results, if anything? How legitimate, how reliable are VADA as a testing agency for anti-doping? So those are the only, you know, they're big questions, but those are the questions I have in terms of the legitimacy and of the results. You know, it's just the only thing I have a hard time believing is that Ryan Garcia chose this fight to cheat as opposed to the Tank fight, as opposed to the Oscar Duarte fight. It's only when, you know, Ryan really has his way and, like, really shocks the world that it's a big narrative. That's the only reason I'll say, like, oh, it sounds really convenient for this to happen now. But also, there's that narrative, and I've been thinking about this a lot. You know, Ryan Garcia, his back was against the wall, so did he feel like he had to do anything to win this fight, including taking PEDs to beat a guy like Devin Haney? It sounds a little bit, you know, far-fetched, but hey, at the end of the day, if Ryan would have lost this fight, maybe he doesn't get considered in that big name conversation at 140 anymore. Kind of falls off the tail end and kind of, you know, fades away a little bit in the sport. But I don't know. Something tells me that he's gonna come out of this cleaner than, you know, your average positive test. There's a reason why this happened. There's an explanation for it all, and I hope that's the case. Hopefully Ryan Garcia can figure it out, because, you know, he hasn't said anything yet in terms of this is why it was found in my system. He's been talking about the ashwagandha root, but, you know, I don't think that probably wasn't the source of it. If it did come, it probably did come from PEDs. No matter how they got into a system, that's the way testing is. You test to see if it's in the system, and if it's positive, then, you know, it was in your system. So that's just the way it is. You don't have to be a doctor to understand what a positive test is. You know, if everyone said, oh, you're not a doctor, you can't talk about this, then, you know, there's a lot of things. You shouldn't be talking about, you know, weed usage. You shouldn't even be talking about sports. You shouldn't even be talking about life. You're not a doctor. You know, where do you draw the line? So, you know, I've done research on Austrian. It obviously is a form of PED. It helps with muscle growth. It helps with bone growth. So, you know, you can't have that. Obviously, you want it to be an even playing field. If one guy's taking it, then all guys should be allowed to take it. If people don't think it was really impactful in the fight, then why is it banned? You know, why is this an issue? Because it's not allowed. It's not allowed in the sport. That's why this is causing so much chaos in the sport of boxing. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Ryan Garcia potentially being disqualified. You know, Devin Haney's really pushing for that disqualification of Ryan Garcia to get his O back and, you know, get that win over Ryan. You know, do you guys consider it an actual win, or does, you know, Devin have to prove it in a rematch? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. That's going to do it for another NASFight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.